So today, we're going to dive into a really fascinating breakthrough that's all about teaching AI how to think, not just, follow a list of commands. We're talking about a huge shift from a simple instruction follower to a genuine problem solver, one that can handle the messy, unpredictable digital world just like we do. I mean, we've all seen those mind-blowing demos from models like GPT-4o, right? They can write poetry, they can code, they can have conversations that feel shockingly human. But what happens when you ask one of these brilliant AIs to do something that seems really simple, like go to a website and book a specific flight? Well, more often than not, it just fails. So what's going on here? The core of the problem is that the internet wasn't built for machines. It's this messy, sometimes chaotic, but also beautiful place that's designed around human intuition. And AI doesn't see a web page like we do. To the machine, it's just a jumble of isolated elements, buttons, links, text boxes. It doesn't have that common sense to just look at it and get it. And the numbers, they really tell the story. On complex web tasks, the very best AI agents succeed less than 20% of the time. We humans, on the other hand, we nail it almost 90% of the time. That massive gap in performance is exactly the challenge that researchers from Microsoft and Columbia University decided to tackle. And this brings us to what we can call the clumsy robot problem. It's not about the AI lacking raw power. It's a fundamental flaw in how these agents even approach a problem in the first place. So on the left, you've got your typical AI agent. It follows one single rigid plan. If it makes one wrong turn, hits one dead end, it's stuck. Game over. It can't backtrack or learn from what went wrong in the moment. But on the right, that's the goal. A smarter agent. It's more like us. It explores a few different possibilities, weighs its options, and actually learns from the entire journey, especially from the mistakes. To build that smarter agent, the researchers first created what you could call a super explorer. Think of it as an AI with this huge, deliberate brain built for just one thing, to meticulously map out every single possible path to get a task done. Now, the engine behind the Super Explorer is a technique with a bit of a fancy name, Reflective Monte Carlo Tree Search, or RMCTS. The best way to think about it is like a chess grandmaster. It doesn't just think about the next move. It visualizes this whole tree of possible futures branching out. And that reflective part, that's the real magic. It lets the AI look back on its mistakes, learn from them, and even have a little internal debate about the best way forward. So this thinking process really has three key parts. First, it explores lots of different branching paths at the same time. Second, it uses something called contrastive reflection, which is a cool way of saying it compares what it thought would happen with what actually happened, so it can learn on the fly. And third, it uses a multi-agent debate. This is kind of like having a committee in its head. One agent argues for taking a path, another argues against it, and a third one acts as a judge. It's a way to avoid simple mistakes. Okay, so this Super Explorer is incredibly powerful, a real genius. But there's a catch. All of that deep thinking makes it really slow and super expensive to run. It's just not practical for the real world. So the next step, and this is the most important part, was to figure out how to distill all of that hard-earned wisdom into a faster, more efficient AI. This poses a really interesting challenge, right? How do you take all the knowledge gained from this slow, methodical process and transfer it into a nimble model that can act in an instant? Well, the traditional way of doing this is called imitation learning, and it's basically like giving a student only the answer key. The AI sees the final correct path, but it has no idea why that was the right path or why all the other paths were wrong. But this new method, exploratory learning, is completely different. It's like showing the student the entire messy scratch pad, every calculation, every wrong turn, every time they had to backtrack, the whole journey that led to the final answer. And this is the whole point. The AI isn't just memorizing a list of correct clicks. As the researchers put it, it's learning the fundamental skills of exploration. It's learning to size up a situation, try something out, and if that doesn't work, have the good sense to go back and try something else. It's learning how to think strategically. So now we've got the powerful but slow teacher and the new, efficiently trained student. This brings us to the payoff. Did this whole new way of teaching actually work? Let's take a look at the results. This is really the moment of truth. Can the student model, now packed with all this wisdom from exploratory learning, actually perform these complex tasks all by itself,
without that slow, expensive search process.
First, let's just establish our baseline. The RMCTS Super Explorer, our teacher, achieved up to a 30% relative improvement over the previous best methods. So that confirms it. The teacher was genuinely smarter. So how did the student do? A whopping 87%. The newly trained AI, running all on its own, was able to match 87% of the Super Explorer's incredible performance. That is a massive success. It proves the knowledge was actually transferred. And here's the kicker. It achieved that near-expert performance while being 2.7 times cheaper to run, computationally speaking. So it's almost as smart, but way, way faster and more practical. This table really shows the hard data. If you look on the left, you see some of the standard methods, with success rates around 28–30%. As you move to more complex search methods, the success rate climbs. But look at that column on the right, relative tokens. That's basically the cost. It skyrockets. Our RMCTS teacher hits that new state-of-the-art at 41% success, but at over 7 times the cost. The real breakthrough is training a new model to get close to that 41% success rate, but without that huge computational price tag. So what's the big picture here? The big takeaway? This isn't just about making one smarter agent. It's about creating a blueprint, a system where AI can actually teach itself to get better, creating this powerful self-reinforcing loop. These graphs from the paper show something really important called compute scaling. What that basically means is that the more thinking time or computing power you give these agents, both the teacher and the student, the smarter they get. This shows that it's not a dead end. There's a clear path to making these models even more capable in the future. And that's what leads to this amazing virtuous cycle. You have a powerful, slow-thinking AI that creates incredibly rich training data. You use that data to train a faster, more efficient model. That new model then becomes the new, improved baseline, which you can then use to build an even more powerful explorer in the next cycle. AI is literally learning how to get better at learning. So why does all this matter? Well, first, it's a scalable way for AI to teach itself, which means we might not need to rely so much on human-labeled data. Second, it gives these agents that crucial human-like ability to explore, to make a mistake, and to correct their course. And third, these are absolutely foundational skills for any AI that we hope can operate autonomously and reliably out there in the real world. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. For years, the way we improved AI was mostly by feeding it bigger and bigger datasets that humans created. This research points to a future where AI generates its own superior training data. So if an AI can create its own perfect teacher and then learn from it in this virtuous cycle, what's the limit? How capable can it become? That's the big question this work leaves us with.